Hey there folks, welcome back to the channel. Today is going to be a brand new What I Watched video. It's pretty simple. I show you all the movies that I watched recently. Whether it's the past few weeks, the past month, 2 months, whatever. As long as I have enough to show, I'm going to make a video. I used to do these in the past and now I'm bringing them back. So I have some Blu-rays and some DVDs here, and I'm not going to review the movies. I'm just going to simply show you what I watched. First up, I watched Nosferatu. Now, I didn't get to see this movie in the theater, and I was like, I'm just going to wait till it comes out on Blu-ray. I'm going to pick it up, and I loved it. I really loved it. This is the extended cut, includes 2 versions of the film. Everyone did an amazing job, especially Bill Skarsgård. Visually, this movie is just so awesome, but everyone's acting was superb. So, yeah. And Aaron Taylor Johnson's in it. I know a lot of people don't like him, but he was fine. Next up, I watched Transformers 1. Now, if you haven't seen my Blu-ray DVD update, I talked a little bit about how this movie kind of blew me away. I really had no interest in this movie, even though I'm a huge Transformers fan. I saw the trailer to this, and I'm like, I don't know. But honestly, it kept me interested the whole time. Transformers' origin story. And how Megatron became, he became evil, I guess. But I love the characters. And the voice work was great. And the animation's good, too. So, yeah, this movie is really good. If you guys have not seen Transformers 1, please check it out. I mean, it's fun, too, if you have kids. The kids really like it, too. All right. Next up, I watched Smile 2. I also said this in the update that I really, really liked this movie, but honestly, I think I liked the first one a little bit more. Now, I guess that's not saying much. I mean, I was a huge fan of the first Smile. I know there's a lot of people who weren't fans of it. That's fine. A lot of people were comparing it to like It Follows, which I think It Follows is a better movie overall, but this one was a nice take on, like this woman who is a singer and like she has to deal with the pressures and stuff. And then there's this entity that adds just another thing to it. So, this was good. It was really good. I'm going to do reviews of these, obviously, when I get the time to. All right, so I wanted to revisit these movies because, for one, I haven't seen them in a long time, and there's a new movie coming out this year as part of the MCU, and the Fantastic Four movies. Now, I have them here on Blu-ray in a 2-movie collection, so you got Fantastic Four, and then Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer. I saw both of these in the theater. I guess you could call these guilty pleasures. I still think they hold up today in a way. The only thing that I think my major gripe with these movies is Mr. Fantastic. His animations and stuff, like the CG for his stretching and stuff, is just really, really bad. And when you look at everybody else doing their thing, like, The Thing, and then Invisible Woman doing her invisibility, and then the Human Torch flame on, it looks fine. All that stuff looks fine, but when it comes to Mr. Fantastic, when he's stretching, I'm just like, what's going on? Is this a cartoon? Like, what am I watching? It's really bad. But I wanted to watch these because the new Fantastic Four movie is coming out this year. Like I said, it looks really, really good. It feels like they're doing something right with the characters. But these are, like I said, these are guilty pleasures. Silver Surfer I actually really liked as a character. So I haven't seen this movie in years, and I wanted to revisit it. And it is Gravity with Sandra Bullock. Now, this movie visually was just stunning and very intense about a woman who's trying to survive in space, trying to, you know, make sure she has air and like something goes wrong, so she has to fix it. It's, I didn't think they could, I didn't think a movie like this would be interesting, but it seriously does hold up today. I remember seeing this in the theater, just blown away. As soon as I left the theater, I was like, wow, like this movie is just awesome. But yeah, it still holds up. I still think this is a great movie. Now, talking about nostalgic, I've seen the first movie so many times, maybe more than any of the others, and I wanted to see the sequel, and I still love the sequel to this day. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2: The Secret of the Ooze. In my opinion, not as good as the first one, because the first one is a masterpiece of Turtles. Like, that is just, it's straight out of the comics, okay, the first Turtles. But this is a really good sequel. I think one of the major gripes I had with this movie, and I don't think they could get the rights to it or something, I don't remember what happened, but I wish they had Bebop and Rocksteady. Toka and Razar are fine, but I would have rather had them be Bebop or Rocksteady, because if you think about it, they're stupid. Razar and Toka, they're stupid. Just like Bebop and Rocksteady were kind of stupid. They got everything wrong and they act like kids. Like they're not, they're immature. But whatever. It's still fun. I have a lot of fun with this movie. It's still entertaining. So yeah, I have it here on Blu-ray, and it's looks really good. I've always loved this film, and I wanted to revisit it once again. And it is Drag Me to Hell. Now, of course, directed by Sam Raimi. This is another fun movie. About this demon who is basically going after what's her name? Alison Lohman, I think that's her name. Yeah, Alison Lohman's character, demon's going after her, wants to drag her down to hell, and she has to figure out a way to stop that. This is the unrated director's cut Blu-ray. Love this movie. It's a lot of fun. I love the fights with the old lady. You shame me. Now, the last Blu-ray I'm going to show here. Here's the thing about this movie. There are certain aspects that I like about this film, but then there's all the rest. And it is Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. The original Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory with Gene Wilder is my favorite interpretation of like Willy Wonka. There are things about this movie that I really like what they did that they didn't do in the original, such as Willy Wonka's backstory about his dad being a dentist. All that stuff was fantastic. I loved that. I loved the whole backstory, how he met the Oompa Loompas. All that stuff was great. But it just got a little bit too far-fetched with, all the stuff in the factory. Johnny Depp. I really did not laugh once with him. I thought he was kind of lame, and the jokes were forced to where it just was not funny. I know Tim Burton has his own image of everything, and that's fine. But Johnny Depp always plays like this pale white weirdo. And same goes here. His face is all pale, and he's got this weird haircut. But I don't know. Like I said, there are certain aspects that I like about this film. All right, next up, we have VHS Beyond. I've talked about this before. VHS 85 was kind of a disappointment. At least for me it was. I'm not saying the whole movie was bad or any of the stories. I'm just saying this is a step in the right direction with VHS Beyond. I pretty much liked all the stories here, even the wraparound. They did a really good job, and I hope they keep making these because all the stories are very creative, and the way they're going, there's so much more to tell, This is a good one, guys. If you're into the VHS movies and you haven't seen this one, check it out. Now, this is the second time I've seen this movie. And the first time I was kind of in a bad mood. I guess I wasn't really in the right mood, so to say, to watch this movie. Everyone was shitting on it. And at first I was starting to see all the things that people were talking about. But I watched it again with an open mind. And honestly, I don't know what happened. It's like a light bulb went off. I really don't think this movie's bad at all. I really don't. And it is Trap. This is M. Night's latest film. I had a blast the second time watching this. I don't know what it was about it. Maybe I was in a better mood. Maybe I just was looking for things differently than the first time I was watching it. But I loved everyone's performance. Even M. Night's daughter, I thought she was fine. Everyone's like, well, they concentrate too much on the daughter. Well, that's the point. They're at the concert. So she's up there singing. It reminded me of going to a real concert. That's how it is. So I really don't see the problem with that. I thought it was really good. So, I don't know. My mind changed. Now, here's a movie that kind of messed up my mind when I saw it. I think it's 1993. Yeah, 93. Okay, I didn't see this movie, I think, until 97 or 98. And it is Fire in the Sky. Now, everyone knows about this movie, just messing with them. It, like, scarred them for life. The aliens and the tests they run on this guy. The stuff that they do. This movie still has that disturbing aspect to it. It still does. It still does today. I thought if I watched it again, I'd be like, you know what? This is not that bad. It's not as bad as I remember it, or as disturbing. Yes, it still holds up. At least for me it did. Those damn aliens, dude. They're freaking dude. Any kind of aliens you can think back and say, those creep me out, this is the movie. Right there. Here's a movie that I always thought was underrated because nobody really talks about it, and the people that do talk about it pretty much bash it. And I never understood it. I think this movie's great, and it is White Noise with Michael Keaton. And, he does like EVPs, try to see if there's ghosts and stuff, and deals with the paranormal. Really, really good. It's a movie that I didn't think Michael Keaton would ever do. So it's really nice to see him in a movie like this. But yeah, I think if you have not seen this movie, don't listen to all the bashing and stuff. Definitely give this movie a shot. It's really good. I think it's really good. I think it's definitely underrated. Now, here's a badass movie that I've always liked. And I remember seeing this at a younger age because my parents always watched it. And they had, I think, recorded it on television. So there was the commercials and stuff that I remember. And it is Roadhouse. Rest in peace, Patrick Swayze. He made awesome movies. Roadhouse is definitely one of my favorites. It's just, you feel like a man after watching this. And, he's a bouncer at a bar, and he's trying to make things right. And there's these people who are trying to run this town and make the rules, but he's not gonna he's not gonna stand for that. This movie just never gets old. I'd say when it comes to Patrick Swayze movies, this would definitely be in my top 10. I'm not sure about top 5 though. Maybe it might be. That'll be interesting. Maybe I'll down the road do a top 10 Patrick Swayze films. All right, getting down to the nitty gritty here. Now, I wanted to revisit this movie. I haven't seen it in a while, and it is Mask. Not The Mask with Jim Carrey, just Mask with Cher, Sam Elliott, and Eric Stoltz, who plays Rocky Dennis, based on a true story about a kid who had like a deformed face, always got made fun of, and turns out that this kid was not only lovable, but he was smart, and there was more to this kid. Now, here's the complaint I have about this. This is the director's cut, okay? A lot of the music has changed. There's some extended scenes that were cut out from the theatrical, and I don't like the changes. I don't like the music changes. I prefer Bob Seger, Kathmandu, in the in the theatrical version, or you should say TV version. In the beginning, they have that version, but on this one they have a different song. I can't remember what it was, but I don't like the music changes in this. I mean, the extended scenes are fine. They honestly, if you cut those out, it wouldn't matter. It doesn't really do much. But this is a I don't want to say depressing movie, but it's very sad at the end, and I tear up pretty much all the time. Cher does such an amazing job, but yeah, this is a good movie, guys. If you have not seen Mask, definitely check it out. So I wanted to end everything with a wrestling DVD, and it's one of my favorite wrestling DVDs that I own, and it is Hulk Still Rules DVD, actually Hollywood Hulk Hogan. And this DVD pretty much goes over Hogan's life, how he started his debut, some of his best matches, some of the most memorable things that have happened when he entered the business, and then he basically changed the business, because when he went to WCW, WCW was doing so good that WWF, that they were, they were pretty much struggling and stuff. And it was because of Hogan. Hogan started bringing wrestlers over from WWF to WCW. There's that whole story. Macho Man was one of them. But this has over 4 hours of bonus material, just a whole bunch of stuff in this. This is a damn good DVD. Hulk Hogan has always been and will always be my favorite wrestler. He just has that energy when he hulks up and everything. His music, I am a real American. Fantastic. I just love his whole persona. And yeah, there's 2 DVDs in this. There's even the old TNT things that show, with Vince McMahon hosting, a very young Vince McMahon. But this is a 2 DVD set. Very, very cool, guys. If you're into wrestling and you don't have this, definitely pick it up. Yeah, Hulk Hogan, awesome. So these are the films that I watched recently. I know there was a lot to go over, but yeah, I'm bringing this series back. So it's going to be at random. Whenever I think I have enough to show, I'm going to show you guys what I watched. So hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think of those titles that I mentioned down in the comments and stuff. So yeah, stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one.